Thank you. Good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the May 5th, 2015, otherwise known as the Cinco de Mayo version of the Downers Grove Village Council. It is my distinct privilege to call this meeting to order. There are copies of our agenda on either side of the room. If you haven't already picked one up and would like to do so and follow along with our proceedings tonight, I would encourage you to do so. There will be opportunities for public comment as indicated on the agenda. It is our custom, our proud custom, to always begin our meetings by reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. So at this point, I would like to ask everyone to please rise and join us in reciting the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. That was terrific. They heard that in Woodridge. That brings us to item 2 on our agenda, which is our roll call. At this point in time, I'd like to ask our fine village clerk, April Holden, to please call the roll.
Commissioner Jose?
Here.
Commissioner Olson?
Here.
Commissioner Rankin?
Here.
Commissioner Barnett?
Here.
Commissioner Newstead?
Here.
Commissioner Durkin?
Here.
Mayor Tully?
Here. Thank you very much. That brings us to item 3, which pertains to the minutes of prior council meetings. We have one set of minutes to approve tonight. Those are our minutes from our regular council meeting of April 21st, 2015. Are there any changes, corrections, or comments to those motions? To those minutes, excuse me. Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Those minutes are approved unanimously. That brings us to item 4, council member reports. This is an opportunity for members of the village council to share goings-on or other items of interest with the rest of the community. Tonight, I'll start on my left with Commissioner Barnett.
I have no report, Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioner Olson.
No report.
Thank you. Commissioner Jose.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to remind everybody that this Saturday, May the 9th, is the 23rd Annual Letter Carriers Food Drive. It's an opportunity for folks to help out the less fortunate here in our community just by leaving a little bag of non-perishable food items right outside their door by their mailbox. So I hope folks will take advantage of that and help those in the community that are in the most need. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioner Rankin.
No report, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Durkin.
I have no report, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Newstead.
Just a reminder, the Public Works Open House is next Friday, May 15th, from 3 to 7 at the Public Works Facility, 5101 Walnut Avenue. It's a great event for our community and really displays what our Public Works Department does every day for our town. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. The one thing I will share is I'll remind everyone that this Saturday, May 9th, is the 26th annual Groovin' in the Grove 5K race, which is held right here in Downers Grove, mostly on the campus of Midwestern University. There's also a kids race that starts a little bit later. I believe the 5K starts at 9 a.m. I'm sure Commissioner Olson is aware of that. It's a great race. I've been doing it for a number of different years, and you get an opportunity, you have some good weather. Come on out. It's a good event. Also being held on Mother's Day weekend. They have a nice little touch where all the women running in the race, as they cross the finish line, the tradition is to hand them a flower, so it's a very nice event. Hope to see lots of people out there. That brings us then to item 5, our consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second. Any questions or comments from any members of the audience with respect to any of the items on tonight's consent agenda? Questions or comments from members of the village council? Hearing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Newstead?
Aye.
Commissioner Durkin?
Aye.
Commissioner Jose?
Aye.
Commissioner Olson?
Aye.
Commissioner Rankin?
Aye.
Commissioner Barnett?
Aye.
Mayor Tully?
Aye. The consent agenda passes unanimously. That brings us to item 6, our active agenda. We have one item on tonight's active agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt an ordinance authorizing a special use to permit an extended family accessory housing unit at 4215 Bernard Road?
So moved.
Second. Are there any questions or comments on this item from any members of the audience? Questions or comments from members of the village council? Hearing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Newstead?
Aye.
Commissioner Durkin?
Aye.
Commissioner Jose?
Aye.
Commissioner Olson?
Aye.
Commissioner Rankin?
Aye.
Commissioner Barnett?
Aye.
Mayor Tully?
Aye. That matter passes unanimously. And that brings us to item 7, which is a very special part of tonight's meeting. And it is the portion of the meeting when we transition from one seated council to another seated council. So tonight we will say goodbye to the council from 2013 to 2015. We will say hello to the Downers Grove Village Council for the period 2015 to 2017. Just so everyone can follow along with what we do and how we do this, I will ask for a motion to adjourn sine die, which is a Latin term that means without date. I'm going to ask for that motion and ask for a second. And then we're going to hold out voting so we can have some ceremony. in which we can show our appreciation for those who have served in the council who will be leaving us tonight. And then after we do that and give them an opportunity to share some comments with their fellow colleagues and staff and also the audience, we will take a short break, at which point in time we will reconfigure things a little bit, and then we will have the ceremony of the swearing in of the new village council for the next 2 years until, of course, 2017, when there'll be another election and we'll do it again. So with that, I would like to ask for a motion to adjourn sine die.
So moved.
Second.
So we're going to pause there. So what I would like to do then is to get up and present our departing council members with some items, which include some plaques and other things. So bear with me a moment here.
All purchased in Downers Grove?
Of course.
Okay, good. We need that sales tax.
All right, so I think the way I'm going to do this is I am going to put the items here, and I'm going to ask each one of our departing members to come down, and we'll present it. I promise I will be brief, but I can explain what we have here for you. If I could ask Commissioner Becky Rankin to please come down. Let's see. Just like we did it in rehearsal, right? This will probably work. Commissioner Rankin has served with us for 4 years, and when she was sworn in, she brought fresh perspectives, new ideas, and a whole new set of eyes to the village council. Greatly appreciated serving with her. But many of you know that Commissioner Rankin, this wasn't her first time serving the village. She also served on the Community Grants Commission. We had the privilege of serving together there. And she was always a thoughtful person, a quick learner, and as I said, always brought fresh perspectives on ideas and topics that sometimes generate a little bit of controversy, but you know what? If it doesn't generate some controversy, then what good is it? I want to thank you very much for your years of service to our village, both as a commissioner and as beforehand on the Board of Commission. And we know you're very involved in a lot of different organizations and not-for-profits in town, so we're not saying goodbye to you. We'll see you in many other ways, and thank you for all that you've done for our community. I would like to present you with this very handsome plaque trophy, which I'm not going to take out of the box because I don't want to risk dropping it. This is presented to Commissioner Becky Rankin in recognition and appreciation of your commitment and your service to the community 2011 to 2015.
Thank you.
But as I say, but wait, there's more. We also have, and I'm presenting this on behalf of the Downtown Management Corporation, a very nicely wrapped Downers Grove banner. I believe this actually flew over the downtown, and if it didn't, just pretend it did. I'd like to give that to you, and just to make Commissioner Durkin happy, you'll notice the bag that it is in. So we'll give that to you, and it's something to hold that in. Would you like me to put that away for you? I'll bring it up to you.
Oh, well, I can look it up.
These are just so nice, I'm not even qualified to be touching them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Another round of applause for Commissioner Rankin. Yeah, I'm doing this by years of service, so the next person I'd like to call down is Commissioner Jeff Newstead. If you could, please. Jeff Newstead has served for 8 years on the Village Council and has always been an advocate for staff and for the organization. In many respects, you couldn't find a bigger cheerleader for the Village of Downers Grove than Commissioner Newstead. Many of you probably know that his election as a commissioner on the Village Council in 2007 was not the first time that he served this community. Commissioner Newstad has been involved in many different ways on the Human Services Commission here in the village, and also on the Transportation Advisory Committee, which I would challenge many of you to remember what that was. It now has a different name. I remember very distinctly the first time that Commissioner Newstad and I talked about him wanting to get involved in village government. It was at, of course, both of our favorite event, Heritage Festival, and we were there at one of the booths, and he said, gee, I'd like to get involved in the village. Do you have any ideas? And fast forward, and as they say, the rest is history. So thank you, Commissioner, for your tireless, selfless, and terrific service to our community. I also have one of these very handsome plaques for you, which also says, on behalf of the Village of Downers Grove, this is presented to Commissioner Jeff Newstad in recognition and appreciation for your commitment and service to the community, 2007 to 2015. Thank you very much. And of course, it would not be complete without also one of these fine downtown banners. I'll keep it in the bag since everyone's seen the bag, but that's for
I
you.
can handle this too.
You got it?
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Well done. And last but not least, with a decade of service on the village council, which I can tell you, having served for 12, is quite an accomplishment. Sean Durkin has been in public service for not only 10 years, but as many probably know, even before that. Commissioner Durkin is the longest serving of the commissioners that we say goodnight to tonight. He has served under 3, 4 different mayors, I think I've lost track, and always served admirably and capably, and always advocating for things that he thought were important. Before joining the village council in 2005 is when Sean joined us. He served on the Liquor Commission here in Downers Grove, and then before that, he served as an alderman in Darien. So Commissioner Durkin has, by my count, at least 15, almost 20 years of public service. That's truly an accomplishment in anybody's book. He's been a strong advocate for a number of things, including traffic calming, leaf pickup. At 10 years, we couldn't get it done. Sorry about that, Sean.
1 year. With Maryland. I got to vote on that one.
And I personally want to thank you for your long service on the Economic Development Corporation Board. You've always been an advocate for economic development, which of course is very important in this community. So it is my privilege to present you with another plaque. This one is presented to Commissioner Sean Patrick Durkin, Sean Patrick Durkin, I'm going to say that right, in recognition and appreciation for your commitment and service to the entire community, 2005 to 2015. Thank you very much, Sean. And of course, you as well get one of these very handsome banners from the downtown. And of course,
And how far south on Main Street did that fly in our downtown?
we can run it down here and fly a little bit further if you like. Always an advocate for the south side. Always an advocate for the south side. You got to always say that about Sean. Of course, I don't think the meeting went by when Sean didn't say, please shop local, please shop in Downers Grove. So
Thank you.
couldn't think of a more appropriate person to give that bag to. Thank you again.
Thank you.
I'll just stay here for a moment and thank each and every one of you for your long and selfless and dedicated service to our community. Collectively, you've had 22 years of service to this community and the Village Council. That's quite an accomplishment, and we deeply appreciate it. Thank you for your dedicated service to all of us, but I also want to thank your families for all the sacrifices that you made so that they could do these jobs for us. We all know that serving up here is most of the time a thankless job, and we appreciate deeply your sharing your loved ones with us to make our community a better place. So a round of applause for the families of our... been a very special privilege to serve with each one of you. Thank you. So with that, and before we take a vote on the motion to adjourn sine die, I, of course, would like to offer my departing colleagues an opportunity to share some of their thoughts with you. Again, I will go in years of service, so we'll begin with Commissioner Rankin.
Oh, great. I wish you would have prepared me for
You can
that.
always yield the floor to someone else, Commissioner, you have that prerogative.
First, I'd like to share a few things about my colleagues that are also saying goodbye tonight. Jeff Neustadt, I met while I was serving with him on the Community Events Commission. He was the chairperson of the commission after Martin, and I served under Martin. He was the chair when the council had made the very difficult decision of discontinuing Heritage Fest due to the economy. And I remember how well he handled the challenging meetings and conversations with the members of the Community Events Commission. The people I served with at the time had been a part of Heritage Fest almost since its inception. And in the beginning, the members of the commission were key volunteers that made sure the event went off as planned. They were all very disappointed, and I was too, in the village council decision. He showed composure and professionalism under difficult circumstances. Despite the history, their experience and love for the event, with his leadership, he was able to help the commission members understand why the event needed to change in the face of the economic circumstances. When I was first sworn in, he took time to show me the ropes. While I had been familiar with public service from my Park District experience, I wasn't familiar with what it was like to be in the trenches. When you're elected to this type of position, the staff does an orientation with you, but there's no orientation to the world of politics in being an elected official. And Jeff was very kind to try to share with me what to expect and how to work within this new world. While serving with Commissioner Neustadt over the last 4 years, he has been the definition of a true public servant. Sean and I were both among the applicants for the council vacancy when Sue McConnell moved, and the village needed to find a replacement. Sean was chosen to fill her vacant spot. He must have been more charming than I was. Sean has been an asset to our village. You always know where Sean stands on an issue. No beating around the bush when it comes to his opinion. He's a straight shooter, and I've always appreciated that. Sean also has a heart of gold. He's always has his priorities straight and puts his family first, and I've always respected his devotion to his family. I have truly enjoyed serving as a village commissioner. I've learned so much and gained so much from the experience. I look back on these last 4 years and understand that every difficult decision I had to make challenged me and taught me that often the correct choice is the most difficult one. I never compromised my integrity. I always did what I thought was best for our village, and I've learned that everything that challenges you makes you stronger. Of course, I wish the election results were different and I had the opportunity to continue to serve, but it is what it is, and I have to live with the results. I've always felt strongly about public service. It's important to give back to our community. Volunteers in our community help make it what it is, whether you're on Rotary or the Grove Foundation or the PTA. Think of what would be missing in our awesome town of Downers Grove without the efforts of all our volunteers and their hard work. The goal of my service as a village commissioner was one of public service. I wasn't a politician, and maybe that's why I won't be here next week. A few months back, I was lucky enough to see one of our latest presidential hopefuls, Carly Fiorina, speak. One of her comments resonated with me. She said, "Politics is too important to leave to the professional politicians." As public servants, we devote so much time taken away from our families to volunteer to make our village a better place. Despite what you may have read over the past few months, there aren't backdoor meetings and payoffs from developers. The decisions we're faced with are most often not black or white, but a lovely shade of gray. While we certainly expect to be held accountable for our choices, please understand that the amount of time serving our community is a testament for our love of this town. We are still going to work every day, carpooling, getting to church, coaching our kids' sports teams, while also serving as commissioners. Over the last few months, we have seemed to have lost our sense of community. Neighbors aren't acting neighborly. This new council, this community, needs to try to build bridges, not walls. Things can only get done with compromise and teamwork, so please try to bridge the divide between the us and the them, and do your best to work toward finding the we. I'm going to miss spending my Tuesdays here at Village Hall. I'm also going to miss working with the great people that do all heavy lifting in our village. We are lucky to have so many shining stars in leadership roles in our village. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve as your commissioner. I am better for it, and it's truly been my honor to serve.
Thank you. Moving down the line in years of service, and I'm sorry, it sort of sounds like we're giving out anniversary awards at the company picnic, but with 4 years of service, we just heard from Commissioner Rankin, and with 8 years of service, Commissioner Newstack.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to ask for a little help.
You meant that literally.
Yeah? Like it's green and white, right? Can you read my handwriting? We do. Thank you, Mayor Tully, Linda Coonsey, for the great gifts. I really appreciate the kind words and the wonderful gifts and mementos. Those of you here tonight, I would like to thank you who voted for me or supported me in 2007, 2011, and again this year. Your confidence has meant so much to me during these 8 years. To those who did not vote for me in the recent election, thank you for your participating in the process. I'm proud to have served you too. Life has a way of leading you through ups and downs and a new opportunity, depending on how you see it. For me and my family, we can only accept its challenges, learn from the experience, and move on, knowing more than we did before seeing it through. Serving this community has been an exceptional experience. I use that word exceptional on purpose. Not winning this election won't define me or force a move from Downers Grove. Rather, it has renewed my purpose to help others understand local government and its elected officials. Your continued engagement and dedication, now more than ever, can help newly elected village council members and the existing members better understand issues in our community to help keep us moving forward rather than looking backward. I'll continue to seek conversations about how together we can navigate through challenge, like unprecedented economic downturns, like losing Heritage Festival, and how difficult policy choices and smart planning can positively make a difference. I'm proud to say that I've helped make a difference. Then in 2007, and today in 2015. Now the campaigns are over, newly elected and returning council members are responsible for everything they say and do. No more campaign palm cards and social media posts with promises to promote this or that or him or her. Elected officials now serve the entire community. Their words and actions have real impacts on our community. The expectation is excellent, and it is possible, but only if our elected officials are honest, prepared, and willing to learn. Setting policy not issue by issue, learning how our community operates and functions smoothly, in my opinion, as I've shown, is the best way to act. Now more than ever, it is important to watch and listen and make sure your voice is heard. The village will continue to prosper with great communication and leadership, and together, we must make sure our elected officials know we are paying attention, all 49,000 of us. I hope our new village council chooses to make good decisions with forward-thinking thoughts rather than seek old ways of thinking and ways of doing business that might undo strides that we've made together as a community. Now on to the village staff. The real workers, the real heart of this organization. Words cannot really describe the village staff, but some do come to mind. Smart, professional, caring, compassionate, respectful, listeners, dedicated, energetic, wise, sensible, hardworking friends. When I first became part of this team, I was welcomed immediately and given the opportunity to make a difference. I learned quickly that I could only make a difference with the support and guidance and help from staff. It's hard to read when you have some tears in your eyes, isn't it? I have made many friends here at 801 and in all the other departments, and I will cherish those friendships as they grow. Thank you for everything you've done for me, my family, and our community. My colleagues on the Village Council, Marilyn, Bob, David, Martin, Sean, Becky, Greg, Ron, Bruce Beckman. Working with you has been an honor, and I've learned a lot in the last 8 years. Last but certainly not least, to my friends and family, many of whom are here tonight. You've supported me in every way and have helped me realize my dream of serving the Downers Grove Village Council. Thank you for everything. Without your friendship and guidance, I would never have been able to carry out this service to our community. To Leslie and my boys, David and Declan, who better be asleep at home with the babysitter, you are my biggest supporters, and I cannot thank you enough for allowing me to be away so much, and thank you for being so awesome. Leslie, when we started this voyage, there was just me and you, but now gathered around us, we have our own crew. You should know that one from your time in Ireland. The best family anyone could ask for is right here. Thank you all for your support over the years. It has truly been my pleasure to serve as your village commissioner, and I look forward to whatever Downers Grove offers me in the next opportunity. Thank you. Thanks.
You might need some more of these. Avery, you need some Kleenex?
And last but not least, as mentioned, with a decade of service on the village council, I'd invite Commissioner Sean Patrick Durkin to share some words with us.
Thank you, Mayor. You know, first and foremost, I want to thank my family. I want to thank my wife, who has allowed me to chase my dream, to do what I think is important for the community. And I want to thank my children, Gavin and Avery, who are here with us tonight, who have really never been in this room before. You know, there's something to be said when your kids are all excited about you getting to spend all this time with them now, because we don't have to dedicate our time to Tuesday nights here. And, you know, that kind of hit this whole election and put it into perspective for me. You know, I'm 44 years of age. I've been a public official on the elected side for 15 years. I've had the privilege of serving in 2 communities, and it's because of the communities that I've lived in that have believed in me, believed in my thoughts, in my paths, and have elected me, and that is what I'm extremely grateful for. You know, it's not easy to take those hard votes. It's not easy to sit up here and listen to both sides of the aisle. But, you know, at the end of the day, there is not one vote that I've casted in the 15 years that I have served that I regret taking. I stand behind every one of them. They're not always the popular one. I totally understand that, and that was that was evident in this past election. The election is over, and I totally agree with the words that have been said. We need to come together as a community, because that's what has made Downers Grove a great community. It's those things that have given Downers Grove the opportunity to be voted as one of the top 10 friendliest communities in the United States of America. And you know what? That is one thing to be extremely proud of, because that takes a lot of work, and it takes a community to win those types of awards. The real winner in this election is my family, because I get to be a full-time husband, and more importantly, something I've never been able to accomplish, or been able to do, is to be a full-time dad. And, you know, this all started, this dream of mine, being in public life back in 1993 when I was 23 years of age. I ran in Darien because I believed in the need for the city of Darien to construct a new police department. Ironically, I didn't win that election because I didn't know anything about funding them, because I didn't know a thing about bonds. Now I do. There's a couple of accomplishments that we have made as a community, as a village board since 2006 that I want to highlight. And these are extremely important, because these highlights, these 3 awards that we have, these 3 rankings, there's only 5 communities in the United States that claim these. 5. Downers Grove is number 6. When I came on board in 2006, we had a AA bond rating. Today, when I say goodbye to you, we have a AAA bond rating. In 2006, our ISO rating, which is the fire department insurance rating, it was a 3. We are a 1, the best you can be. Our police department was accredited. Today, we are excellent. Those are 3 major accomplishments that have been achieved since 2006. And it weren't easy things to be done. It took a lot of work by staff, took a lot of work by council, and a lot of budget talks and a lot of community input for us to get to this level. My dream is that these continue, and we continue for a long period of time, like Plano, Texas has. They've had this opportunity to have this ratings since 1993? Yeah, I mean, it's quite a while, and I didn't have that, so if I misquoted a year, shame on me. I want to wish the best to the mayor, Mayor Tully, and I want to wish the best to my remaining council members and also to the new members of our council. There's a lot of laughter, there's a lot of fun, there's some tears, there's going to be many sleepless nights for you as you take on this task for the next 4 years. I have the belief that you will do the best you can, and you will continue down the path that we've already started way back when this village was founded. I just leave this with you, and I've said this in Facebook posts and before, that I'm only a phone call away if I can ever be of service to you and to our village. God bless.
Well said, moving words from all 3 of you, and a true testament to your years of service and commitment to our community. Again, I'll say on behalf of myself, my colleagues, both future, present, and past, as well as the residents of Downers Grove and all the members of this outstanding organization, thank you for all your service and sacrifice for our community. It is now my humble duty to call for the last roll call on a vote of the 2015-2017 Village Council.
It's 13:15.
I don't think it matters.
Commissioner Newstead?
2015-2017. I'm sorry. No, 2013-2015. Getting ahead of myself. That's part of the movie. Start again. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Newstead?
Aye.
Commissioner Durkin?
Aye.
Commissioner Jose?
Aye.
Commissioner Olson?
Aye.
Commissioner Rankin?
Aye.
Commissioner Barnett?
Aye.
Mayor Tully?
Aye. We are adjourned sine die. We'll now take a 5-minute break or so, do some adjustments. But before we do, everyone please join me in one last round of applause for our departing. Welcome back to the second part of our meeting. As mentioned, we adjourned sine die, and now we come to the part of the meeting where we will swear in the new members of the Village Council, including myself, returning member of the Village Council, and they will be seated, and we will conduct the balance of today's meeting. Overseeing tonight's ceremony, the swearing-in ceremony for myself and the 3 new commissioners, we are very, very, very pleased to have a special guest tonight. We have DuPage County's newest associate judge, Judge Anne-Celine O'Halloran Walsh. She was appointed last fall, and at the time of her appointment, Judge O'Halloran Walsh served as the supervisor of the DuPage County State's Attorney's Office Sex Crimes and Child Abuse Unit and was a member of the Prosecutors Bar Association. Judge O'Halloran Walsh received her Juris Doctor from Chicago-Kent College of Law in 1998. She's an active member of the DuPage County Bar Association, the Illinois State Bar Association, the DuPage Association of Women Lawyers, and the Illinois Prosecutors Association. But her greatest accolade and distinction is the Cheener family, our longtime residents of the village of Downers Grove. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's have a round of applause for Judge Anselino Halloran Wall. And now, this is when the master of ceremonies has to actually participate in this ceremony. I'd like to invite my lovely wife Shannon Tully up to join me in the swearing in. Got the inside. Inside.
Okay. All right, you're going to raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Martin T. Tully,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duty of the office of mayor
the duty of the office of mayor
to the best of my ability.
to the very best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Next, I'd like to ask Commissioner-elect Gina Vitimo to please come up for her swearing in.
Okay, raise your right hand. Left hand on the. I state your name.
I, Gina Vitimo,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Commissioner
the duties of the office of Commissioner
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Next, I'd like to invite Commissioner-elect William White and his family up for the swearing in.
Okay. Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, William White,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Commissioner
of the office of Commissioner
to the best of my ability.
to the very best of my ability.
Congratulations.
And now I'd like to invite up a man who needs no introduction. William Wallback and his wife Judy.
Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, William Waldeck,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States
to support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the Office of Commissioner
the duties of the Office of Commissioner
to the very best of my
to
ability.
the very best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I give you the 2015-2017 Downers Grove Village Council. And if I can ask for one more round of applause for Judge O'Halloran Walsh for being here tonight. Thank you, Mr. Okay, then, our first official act as a village council is to take a roll call. So with that, I will ask our fine village clerk, April Holden, to call for the very first roll of the 2015-2017 council.
Commissioner Waldeck?
Here.
Commissioner White?
Here.
Commissioner Fatimo? Here. Commissioner Jose?
Here.
Commissioner Olson?
Here.
Commissioner Barnett?
Here.
Mayor Tully?
Here. Thank you very much. We have a quorum. We move on to item 10, the mayor's report. I have a couple of items under the mayor's report. The first item is we have a resolution. And if I can ask our village clerk to please read the resolution. This is a resolution appointing members to certain village boards and commissions and also council liaisons to certain positions within our community.
A resolution appointing members to village boards and commissions. Whereas Mayor Tully has made the following appointments to village boards and commissions, now therefore be it resolved that the village council of the village of Downers Grove does hereby confirm the following appointments. Mayor Pro Tem, appoint Commissioner Olson as Mayor Pro Tem. Deputy Liquor Commissioner, appoint Commissioner Olson as Deputy Local Liquor Commissioner. Economic Development Corporation, appoint Commissioner Fatimo as ex officio council representative to the Economic Development Corporation. Downtown Management Corporation, appoint Commissioner Waldeck as ex officio council representative to the Downtown Management Corporation. Community Events Commission, appoint Commissioner White as chair of the Community Events Commission. Zoning Board of Appeals, appoint Marge Earl as chair for a term expiring August 31, 2016. Appoint Timothy Werner for a 3-year term expiring August 31, 2018. Plan Commission, appoint Mark Toman for a 3-year term expiring August 31, 2018. Appoint Irene Hoekstrom for a 2-year term expiring August 31, 2017. Police Pension Board, appoint Bill Nyberg for a 3-year term expiring August 31, 2018.
Do I have a motion to adopt the resolution?
Mayor, I move the resolution be adopted as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments from members of the council? I would just like to say, as I always do, that we depend very heavily upon the volunteers that serve on our boards and commissions, both currently, in the past, and in the future. If serving in the village council is with little to no pay, serving on the board or commission in the village is literally with no pay. It is only done out of a desire to serve the community, and as you heard tonight, oftentimes can lead to a greater role in the community. We appreciate very deeply everybody's willingness to serve. Congratulations to those who are taking positions tonight, those who are returning to positions. We again thank you for your service to the community. We'll warn you in advance that boards and commissions are recommending boards. So don't take offense if we don't always agree with you, but we nevertheless always value your input and your judgment, and we couldn't do our jobs as well as we do without your service. We thank you for that in advance. Now, roll call, please.
Commissioner Olson?
Aye.
Commissioner Jose?
Aye.
Commissioner Waldeck?
Aye.
Commissioner White?
Aye.
Commissioner Vitimo?
Aye.
Commissioner Barnett?
Aye.
Mayor Tully?
Aye, the resolution is adopted unanimously. Now I would like to take a point of my own order and exercise a little executive privilege and give an opportunity to the 3 new members of the Village Council to share some thoughts, if they wish, with the audience or their fellow colleagues on the Village Council. No obligation, but want to give you an opportunity. I'll start to my left with Commissioner White.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay, first, I do intend to be brief, because everyone's going to have 4 long years to listen to me talk. Okay. I want to thank everyone who came out to vote in this past April election. I believe civic engagement is something that our community should strongly encourage. I especially want to thank those members of the community who devoted their time and energy to helping me be elected. I thank the departing commissioners for their service to our community. I congratulate our fellow commissioners, Bill Waldeck and Gina Vitimo, on their election, and I congratulate Martin Tully on his re-election as mayor. To my fellow council members who did not stand for election this year, my congratulations on your prior election. And now we're all in the same boat. All 7 of us should keep in mind that we were elected individually, and each of us need to bring our own unique voice to this table as we deliberate how to best govern our community. To my fellow council members and the village staff, I will aspire to work with everyone with civility and collegiality. To everyone in the community, I will aspire to genuinely and authentically listen to your perspectives and concerns. I see myself as a representative. I'm not some sort of boss, I'm your representative. And my responsibility will be to do what's in the best interest of the entire community. Finally, I do want to thank my family for their love and support. And that's all I have to say, at least for now.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Vitimo.
I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity to serve Downers Grove. Thanks to everyone who helped support my campaign. Thanks to the outgoing commissioners for their service. Thank you to my family and friends for all they've done for me over the past few months. I'm also looking forward to serving on the council, working with the village staff, the mayor, and other commissioners to keep Downers Grove the outstanding community it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Waldeck.
Thank you, Mayor. I too would like to thank the voters for their placing in trust in me for the 3rd time. I will do my best to represent everybody. During my 2-year hiatus, I often sat in the back and observed council meetings from the view of the residents. Having that perspective, I hope it'll make me a better representative. The voters have made it clear that they want a responsible and responsive village government. Since we're all sworn in tonight, it goes without saying that we are now responsible for everything we do from this point forward. But then that isn't entirely what was meant. You want us to be act responsibly, whether up here or in public meetings or behind the scenes. You want us to act responsibly with your taxes and your fees and providing for your public safety, your infrastructure, and make Downers Grove a better community for all, young, elderly, and everyone in between. You wanted a more responsive village government, and that's going to be a bit tricky since in order to be a responsive, it is incumbent on all of you to be responsive. Well, I looked it up, and really there was no such word, but there ought to be. But we can't be responsive unless we receive your questions, your concerns, and your comments. We need your feedback. It's also clear that you wanted to change. And as I look at this current council, what I see is not just change, but I'll use another word, a village council metanoia. And I am hopeful for our future. Now, that's another word to look up. It has a Greek background. Now that I butchered a Latin term and introduced a new Greek term in closing, I want to offer Commissioner Vitimo and Commissioner White the same advice I got a decade ago when I sat in this chair for the very first time. And I'm not kidding, it is this chair. Yeah. No, but seriously, the advice I was given was to sit back tonight, relax, and enjoy. And the best of luck to our new council, and the best, and God bless Downers Grove. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. For my own part, I too, like my colleagues before me, thank all the residents of Downers Grove for putting their confidence and trust behind me for another 4 years as mayor. I'm deeply grateful and humbled by your support. This being my 4th time standing for election in this great village, it truly is a remarkable experience, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. And anyone who does so deserves a great deal of credit for their courage and their perseverance, because, make no mistake, it is no small task. Thanks in particular to my friends and my neighbors and everyone who worked very hard to help make this the second and final term, or 4th stint on the village council possible. For that, I am also deeply grateful. Like words that have been spoken by both my current and former colleagues, I am particularly grateful to my family. And I have to recognize the fact that there's some very special people here tonight. In my family, my mother is here tonight. God bless her for being here. My siblings are here tonight. My 2 brothers and my sister are here tonight. Thank you for all that you do and have done. My 2 sons are here tonight. One looking a little less bored than he was about 10 minutes ago. But here tonight, nonetheless. And normally I would reserve the last spot for a very, very special person who stood with me tonight when I was sworn in, stood with me 4 years ago, and stood with me twice before. How she stands me, I don't know, but she stands behind me when I need her, and that's my wife, Shannon. But there's someone here tonight who's very, very special, and I'm saving him for last. My grandfather celebrated his 99th birthday this past Sunday. This man has forgotten more about life and wisdom than I will ever know, and God bless him for being here tonight. Thank you for inspiring the entire family and me in particular. I appreciate everything. You're a terrific leader, and I've learned a great deal from you. And I want to turn my comments very quickly because, as folks know, for the last 12 years, you will hear a lot from me over the course of the next 4. I want to turn my comments to the incoming council and the members who are returning. First, I want to extend a very warm welcome to each of my 3 new colleagues, Commissioner White, Commissioner DeTimo, Commissioner Waldak. Congratulations on your elections. I also want to say how much I look forward to continuing to work with my returning colleagues, Commissioner Barnett, Commissioner Olson, and Commissioner Jose. I've enjoyed thoroughly working with you, and I'm thrilled that I get to do it again for a good while. There's been a lot of things that have been said here tonight by a lot of different people, and I think that those up here realize that we will not be assessed by what we say here tonight, but by what we do over the course of the next 2 or 4 years. We also need to remember that this new council stands on the shoulders of those that have come before it. It is now our job, our obligation, to now extend our reach to achieve new heights of success. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very diverse council, perhaps more so than in recent memory. We are diverse in backgrounds, experience, age, ideology, geography, and more. And in that regard, this council is a fair reflection of that diversity within our own community. Like the community, we will undoubtedly have our disagreements. We've already had some before we started. But I am confident that with collaborative dialogue and open, engaged governance, we will overcome challenges and take advantage of opportunities in ways that the community both understands and importantly supports. In that regard, the challenge to each one of us, as others have said, is to come together to achieve more collectively than any one of us could individually. And if we meet that challenge, then even greater success lies ahead of us. I will wrap up with a quote from the late Mario Cuomo, who was a 3-term governor of the state of New York. The late Governor Cuomo said, "As politicians, we campaign in poetry, but when we're elected, we're forced to govern in prose." I look forward to working with each one of you, the village staff, and most importantly, the residents of Downers Grove, and this great community, on writing our village's next chapter in prose. Thank you very much. Thank you for that disposition. That brings us to item 11 on our agenda tonight. We haven't heard from the public, and of course, we have an opportunity for public comment. We are now on item 11. This is an opportunity for the public to ask questions or make comments of a general nature with respect to items not on tonight's agenda. Good evening, Mr. Roll.
Good evening, Mayor. I'm Bill Wolf at 7800 Queens Court in Downers Grove. I've been before the dais many times before, and I didn't want to break my record. And I'm here tonight as a member of Chicago Area Theater Organ Enthusiasts. Last time I talked about it, the mayor mentioned I do at least once or twice a year. And since this is a new council, I thought it would be apropos to mention that we're planning a major event here in Downers Grove. The Downers Grove High School, Downers Grove North, has a World True Theater organ that was donated to the school district by Cato, and it's going to celebrate its 45th anniversary being installed in the North High School Johnson Auditorium. And on this occasion, Cato has taken the initiative to plan a organ day here in Downers Grove. The program is going to be starting in the morning at 10 a.m. with a concert at the Tivoli, and then at 2 p.m. I should say, a concert at the North High School. And we're not sparing any expense. We're having a gentleman named Walt Stromey, who performs all over the United States and internationally also. We are artists at the Tivoli, and Dave Wickerham will be the artist at the North High School in the afternoon. And to promote tourism and participation in the local economy, this offers the opportunity for people to come to Downers Grove from all over the state, all over the Chicago area, maybe from internationally, because we are advertising it internationally. And we also are taking a break, so we hope that the participants will visit our local restaurants downtown and between one concert and the other, because the high school is only 4 blocks away from the Tivoli, so it's easy walking distance right across the tracks for the restaurants. So I hope to work with Linda Quincy and the downtown management to get some revenue sales tax benefiting the village. It's not for free. There'll be a $30 charge if you take in both shows, $20 for one. And all you have to do is go to the village or to the Cato's website. Just go to Cato, Chicago Theater Organ Enthusiasts, and be able to bring it up. So I just wanted to be the first to let you know, and since we have a pretty good sized audience here, we invite each and every one of them to participate. We're unique in the fact that we have 2 wonderful worlds of organs here in Downers Grove within walking distance. And there'll be an occasion you can listen to international or national artists and do it right here at home. Spend the day in Downers Grove. The date is, I almost forgot to tell you, it's June 27th, Saturday morning and afternoon. June 27th, so mark it on your calendars, and I hope that John Wilson's going to put it on Downers Grove TV on the bulletin board.
I think you just did.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roll. Everyone gets applause tonight. It's a good night. Other questions or comments of a general nature from members of the audience? Good evening, Mr. LaCreme.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, staff, fellow citizens of Downers Grove. My name is Tom LaCreme, and I live at 545 Chicago Avenue. And I have done so since 1967. So I've seen a great deal of change in this village. When I first here, I worked with Mayor and Council to stop the village from forcing us to put sidewalks in at least one side of every street to make the homeowners pay for it. Well, we've got those sidewalks today, and we did that. We have to directly charge to the residents. Came from all of us. That's a good thing. Over the years, I've learned to follow the council meetings. I play most of them as many as I can, and I have high hopes for this council. And I'd also like to, as a citizen of Downers Grove, my sincere thanks to the family of all of these people who serve us, the staff, council, boards and commissions, however they serve us, downtown management, economic development, the whole 9 yards. So thank you to all of those people as well, and good luck to this council.
Thank you, sir. Other questions or comments from the audience?
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Mark Tolman, 1109 61st Street. 2 years ago, Commissioner Jose, Commissioner Olson, and Commissioner Barnett were amenable and agreeable to the idea, so I'm going to run this by the 4 folks elected tonight to consider a trial run of recycling bins in downtown Downers Grove. You might remember 2 years ago I asked if you guys would be in favor of that. You all said yes. I think even a trial of a half a dozen or so recycling bins in downtown Downers Grove is long overdue considering the good record of Downers Grove in recycling efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tillman. Other questions or comments of a general nature? I just want to do something really quickly. Again, I'm completely taking executive privilege here, and one of them just stepped outside, so he's going to miss it. But I wanted to recognize 3 former council members that are here tonight. I don't know if former Commissioner Tom Sissel is still here in the audience, but Commissioner Tom Sissel is here tonight. And of course, our longest and most dedicated serving commissioner of all time, former Commissioner Marilyn Schnell is here tonight as well. And if we can get him in from outside for a minute, the former mayor of Downers Grove, Brian Krajewski, is also here tonight as well. So on the night that we recognize service, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize your service for many years to this community as well. Thank you for being here tonight. That ends the segment devoted to public comment of general nature. That brings us to item 12 on our agenda, which is relegated to council member new business. Do any members of the new council have any items of new business that they would like to raise at this point in time? No. Commissioner Barnett.
It's not new business, Mayor, but on an evening where we're celebrating and recognizing, I have a couple of comments I'd like to give to my former colleagues as well as my new ones, if you'd bear with me. Usually don't write stuff out and read it, so it's going to sound a little boring probably, but I'll start in. I want to take a minute to recognize Sean, Jeff, and Becky for their service to our community. On every issue, whether we agreed or not, I've never had to doubt their goodwill and sincere desire to take long-term views as they help guide our village forward. Through it all, their focus and commitment to providing top-quality municipal services while keeping the burden of taxation down has been remarkable. As Mayor has spoken about annually in his State of the Village address, the facts speak for themselves, whether it be our financial position as measured by bond ratings, fund balances, or cash flows, or awards, our public services as measured by ISO ratings or accreditations, or the millions of dollars we've invested in public works improvements to our stormwaters and streets over the last few years, our vibrant, successful economic development efforts, and our nearly 98% downtown occupancy rate. Success, success, success all around, while remaining committed to long-term sustainability efforts and while levying some of the lowest property taxes in DuPage County. There is no doubt this village and our community is in better condition now as a result of their service than when it was when they first sought to serve. And to my newly elected colleagues, I'm looking forward to forgoing new relationships, new working relationships. I sit up here and smile every time we have an event like this because it's a testament to the way we govern ourselves, and I'm looking forward to building those relationships. All the great work done by this council, or as the mayor pointed out, previous councils, will soon be history, and the council seated here today will create its own record. I'm confident we can pick up where other councils have left off, sustaining the positives and meeting new opportunities head on. So to Sean, Jeff, and Becky, thank you. Thank you is what I really want to say. And as has been alluded to by others, a special thank you to the families for lending you to us. Those families too have sacrificed on behalf of their village, and they should be recognized for that. So it's been an honor to serve with you. I hope you stay involved, and I wish you the best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Olson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I also want to thank my departing colleagues for their service to the community. You know, it's always a challenge to serve the people, and as they have many and often conflicting priorities. And while we may not have always agreed on every decision, I appreciate the time and the effort that they took to serve, and they took away from their families, and I know our community does so as well. And speaking of service, I wish to welcome my new colleagues to the Village Council. Congratulations on your election, and thank you for your willingness to step forward to serve this wonderful community. I'm looking forward to working collaboratively with each of you, as well as my returning colleagues, to do the people's work and lead this community to new heights. To you, Mr. Mayor, welcome back. I look forward to the strong leadership and guidance you'll continue to bring to this council and our village. And thank you for the confidence you've placed in me to serve as Mayor Pro Tem. I look forward to fulfilling the important duties of this position in order to enable this council to better serve the people of Downers Grove. Transition meetings like this one help us, collectively as public servants, to pause and to refocus on the people who've entrusted this community into our hands. The people sent us here to serve them, and I hope we can always keep that service at the forefront of our decision-making. The book of Ecclesiastes reminds us that for everything there is a season. In the words of the King James Bible, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. For us, here, now, today, as the Village Council for our wonderful Downers Grove community, this is a time to listen, a time to lead, and a time to govern. Now is our time to do the people's work. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Jose.
Thank you, Mayor. I think since Commissioner Waldeck dropped it on us earlier, and I didn't know what it meant, I thought I'd share it. Metanoia is a transformative change of heart, especially a spiritual conversion. It's not every day that I run into somebody dropping a word on me I don't know, so I thought I'd share it. As has been said by many of my colleagues, both newly on the dais and those who have departed, thank you to all of you for your service. I think it's been said some tonight as well that I think it's important to highlight where we've been, which is to say we've got a AAA bond rating, I think it's 23 in the state out of the municipalities. We've gone in the last several years from having 20% of our roads in need of reconstruction to 1% at the end of this year. And there's so many more accomplishments to talk about. But we've done it all without a property tax increase for village operations for the last 4 years. And I think that's important to highlight. That is to say that we stand in a good spot, and I look forward to future successes. So thank you to Commissioner Neustadt, Commissioner Reinken, and Commissioner Durkin for all their service. You've left us in a good spot. The village is better for your service. And I'm excited to work with Commissioner White, Commissioner Vitimo, and Commissioner Waldeck to build on those successes and reach new heights and take the village to an even better place in the future. So thank you, Mayor, and look forward to your leadership over the next at least 2 years from this seat and for the next 4 years overall. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other new business? I'm not going to let you guys get way off the table. We're going to be much more parliamentarian when we go forward, but it's a very special night. So none of this has been new business, but that's okay. It's a special night. Hearing none, then I will ask for a motion to adjourn, please.
Mayor Tully, I move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Olson?
Aye.
Commissioner White?
Aye.
Commissioner Waldeck?
Aye.
Commissioner Vitimo? Aye. Commissioner Jose?
Aye.
Commissioner Barnett?
Aye.
Mayor Tully?
Aye. Thank you. Good night. We'll see you next week. We are adjourned.